Hello students, welcome to the next session of Engineering Mechanics. This is Professor Vidyasar Mugi. In this session, we'll be studying Varignon's theorem of moment. So to begin with, first let's state what the theorem says. So Varignon theorem states that the algebraic sum of moment of individual force of a force system about a point is equal to the moment of resultant about the same point. I'll stress again. Algebraic sum of moment of individual force of a force system about a point is equal to the moment of resultant about the same point. Meaning, if the moment of the resultant, that is R into D, force into perpendicular distance, the moment of this is equal to what? Sum of force about sum of force of the individual force, sum of moment of the individual force about that particular point. If I add the moment of this force and this force, or a moment produced by this force and this force, that both added together will be equal to what? The moment developed by the resultant force. Now if you look at the picture, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is point A. This red line indicates the resultant force which is making an angle theta. This F1 is the purple line which is F1 force which is making angle theta 1, and this F2 force is making angle theta 2. Now this force F1 and F2 are the two individual forces and this R is the resultant force. Now if I mark an imaginary point B here on y-axis, then and from this point B, if I take the perpendicular distance of these two forces and the resultant, then the Varignon theorem says if I take the moment of this resultant R about point B, then that moment caused by the resultant R about B will be same as the moment of this force F1 and F2 added together about the same point B. Now how that will prove here? So force F1 is making angle theta 1. So I'll resolve this force F1 into F1 cos theta 1 and F1 sin theta 1. Similarly, force F2, I'll resolve this into F2 cos theta 2 and F2 sin theta 2. Similarly, I'll resolve the resultant R which is making angle theta, so that will be Rx cos theta and Ry sin theta. So some theory about the theorem. So let R be the resultant of force F1 and F2 and B be the moment center. So B is the moment center. So let D1, D2 and D1 and D2, that is D is the perpendicular distance of resultant R, D1 is the perpendicular distance of force F1, D2 is the perpendicular distance of force F2 about what? Point B. So let D, D1, D2 be the moment arms or perpendicular distance of force R, F1, F2 respectively from the moment center B. Then join AB, that is I'll join this AB and consider it as y-axis and draw a x-axis at right angles. So this is making right angles to the point A. Then let theta be the angle made by the resultant with x-axis. So theta is the angle made by the resultant about x-axis. So we know that moment is what? Force into perpendicular distance. So taking that into picture, what I'll do is I will derive the theorem for this so that we'll prove what is Varignon's theorem mathematically. So I know that resultant is or moment is force into perpendicular distance. So force F1 and F2 are having what? They are having the components F1 cos theta 1, see here F1 cos theta 1 and F2 cos theta 2. Now from the picture you see here, where should I place these two components such that one of the two component will be equal to 0. I will show you here. Now this is y axis and this is x axis. Now if I take force F1, so F1 has two components, that is in horizontal component and vertical component. So those two components, where should I place them such that one of the component will be 0. Now I am interested in taking moment about what point? Point B, because this is the moment center. Now with respect to this point B, I should place the force of this F1 such that this is horizontal component, which is F1 cos theta 1, because this is theta 1, and this is F2 sin theta 1. Now after placing these two components of F1 here at point A, what is happening to F2 sin theta 1? So line of action of F2 sin theta 1 is in line with B. So this force will be equal to what? This force will be equal to 0. Then what will be this force? This will be F1 cos theta 1. So this F1 cos theta 1 is acting like this. So what is the perpendicular distance of this force? The perpendicular distance of this force is this distance. So that distance I'll call as AB. So force into perpendicular distance is what? AB. So moving ahead. So the moment caused by the resultant is what? R into D. That will be what? So I'll show here. So moment caused by the resultant, this red line about B is what? Force into perpendicular distance is D. So R into D. So what? Where should I place these two forces? I should place these two forces at point A such that this force will be equal to what? 0, and this force is what? Rx cos theta into perpendicular distance is AB. So R into D is the moment. So similarly, Rx cos theta is the force into what is the perpendicular distance? Perpendicular distance is AB. Similarly, then what I can write this as? R into D is equal to what? I can write this as Rx AB, or I'll write this as R into cos theta. So I can name it as Rx. I'll name it as Rx. So this is Rx AB. So that I'll mark as equation 1. Similarly, if I take, this is what is the moment by the resultant. On the same hand, if I take moment of F1 into D1, what is this F1 into D1? This F1 into D1 is nothing but this. Force F1, what is its perpendicular distance? So F1 into perpendicular distance is D1. So where should I place these two forces? I should place it at point A such that F1 sin theta 1 is 0, which you can see here. So F1 into D1 will be what? So F1 into D1 will be what? It is F1 cos theta 1 into AB, or I can write this as F1 into X1 or F1X, because it is acting in horizontal direction. So I'll call this as F1 into X into AB. So this is equation 2. So on the same hand, I'll write for F2 into D2. So F2 into D2 will be what? F2 cos theta 2 into AB perpendicular distance, or this will be F2 X into AB. So this is equation 3. Now I'll add equation 2 and 3. So adding equation 2 and 3, what I'll get? I'll get F1 D1 plus F2 D2, which will be equal to what? F1 X into AB plus F2 X into AB. So what is common in this? AB is common. So I'll write this as F1X plus F2X. Then this is what? F1 D1 plus F2 D2. Now F1 D1 plus F2 D2 is equal to AB into, what is F1X plus F2X? Is there force, or can I write this as summation force of force in X direction? F1X, F2X, F3X, F4X and so on. Can I write all the forces, sum of force in x direction? So that will be summation fx. So summation fx, I'll write this as equation 4. Now I'll compare equation 1 and 4. So compare equation 1 and 4. It can be written as so what is equation 1? Equation 1 is here. So it is Rx into B. So equation 1 is what? Rx into B. What is equation 4? It is AB into summation fx. So what is summation fx? Sum of all the force in x direction is nothing but resultant of all the force in x direction. So can I write this as F1 d1 plus F2 d2 is equal to what? So AB into fx is nothing but Rx into AB. So I can write in place of this what I can write? I can write this as R into D. So this is the proof for Varignon's theorem. So this is equation 5. So equation 5 indicates Varignon's theorem. Hope you followed this. Thank you very much. In the next session we'll be looking after the problems on Varignon's theorem. Thank you.